Hello, my name is Jamika Piper. I am the Humanities Librarian for IUPUI. In a previous tutorial, I mentioned the connection between writing and selecting resources. In today's tutorial, we will further unpack how to use resources to build an argument. When evidence incorporation is typically discussed, the focus has been on the technical aspects of direct quotation, parenthetical quotation, in-text citation, and bibliographic citation. Take this example of a direct quote from James Baldwin. In addition to introducing the quote, I also give the exact essay title, page number, and since this came from a book of essays, I also list the exact section. However, more than thinking about this as an isolated example, we want to make sure that when we select examples, that we're also thinking about how this best illustrates the idea being discussed in context to our paragraphs, and also how it establishes the connection between the source and the idea that we are attempting to explicate. In this parenthetical citation, since I'm already mentioning that something is being restated from James Baldwin, and I indicate any directly borrowed language in quotation marks before giving the final page number I referenced. When we integrate sources into our argument, we need to make sure that we are being intentional and ethical about the examples that we are utilizing. Being ethical when we utilize our resources means not only thinking about proper citation style, but also making sure that we are being respectful of the original context for the source and where the example was pulled from. In persuasive or informative essay writing, it is a good idea to think of the paragraph as a unit. The goal of the paragraph is to fully develop one idea. A strong paragraph starts off with a claim or an arguable statement. Next, it builds in the warrant, which is the logic or rationale behind making the claim. Now is the part where you incorporate the evidence gathered from various sources and offer analysis, which should explain how the evidence supports your initial claim. Evidence is a vital part of writing. The type of resources that you consult in your writing process generally depends on A, the assignment prompt given by your instructor, and B, on the type of writing that you are doing. Evidence that is not fully introduced, integrated, or contextualized with relationship to the larger argument being presented creates issues in the overall comprehensibility of your argument. The examples that you select to support your argument can be just as detrimental as beneficial to your case. As you're selecting evidence, be mindful of the purpose for which you want to incorporate the source. i.e., is this an example supporting my idea? Is this an example that demonstrates a counterclaim? Don't just drop a quote. You want to make sure that you are properly signaling that this is taken from a source. Introduce the quote into the flow of your writing and explain how this quote relates to your main idea. You do not need a lot of quotes in one paragraph. Make sure that you are balancing outside sources against your own developing idea. True scholarship is not the repetition of gathered data, it is learning how to interject your unique arguments and ideas. In this tutorial, I've discussed how to approach the incorporation of evidence into your writing. If you have any questions regarding sources, you can reach out to your subject liaison. You can also reach out to the University Writing Center.